Hi guys, today's mental health topic is going to be on isolation, which is something that I have dealt with very much in my life. And I keep noticing that my mental illness works all in conjunction with each other, sometimes in a very synergistic way, playing off each other. So it's not just like I solely have depression or I solely have social anxiety, and those two are distinct. Things work together, they combine. And I find with both of those mental illnesses I've been struggling with, I have a common tendency of wanting to isolate myself. And that is what I used to do very frequently. But I'm here to tell you guys that if you can, it's a lot better to fight that tendency, because ultimately, the more you give in to that as a sort of vice, it will make you sicker. I honestly, at some point, considered isolation as a kind of addiction of mine because I was so obsessed with just spending time alone. I am more shy than I am introverted. Those two are very distinct things. When you're introverted, you want to spend a lot of time by yourself, just alone. And I would definitely have times like that. But to be honest with you guys, if I could spend time with my boyfriend instead, I would do that. So I wouldn't want to be completely alone. I did like some level of comfort. However, I do like spending more time alone than I do with a lot of people or in parties or crowds or group settings like that. I don't really like that too much. But I have forced myself to confront my fears. So basically in the past, what used to happen is I would get so low sometimes and so depressive that I would literally call in sick to work because I was just in such a slump, and I thought that being alone would make me happier than being in a work environment surrounded by other people. And I realized after some time and a lot of years that that was not right. That is not helping me in any way. And of course, in terms of social anxiety, sometimes I get really nervous and I'd cancel plans with people. I would bail on things at the last minute because I was so scared of being surrounded by people. And then I realized that the more I isolate myself and I leave myself alone with my own thoughts, the sicker I would get. And I think a lot of us think that it's okay to isolate ourselves because that's kind of what society has taught us. Society has shown us that mental illness is a stigma-related thing. You don't talk about it very much. It's supposed to be kept under wraps. It's not like heart disease or Alzheimer's or diabetes or any measurable quantitative type of disease. This is a kind of thing that people don't necessarily believe you when you tell them that you're depressed or that you're anxious around other people. They don't have as much proof or as many things to go by. It's not an obvious physical symptom checklist. However, some of you that are dealing with depression or anxiety, you must know about some of the physical ailments that you can get. You can get really bad stomach aches because you're so nervous or you're so sad. You can get achy body joints. You can just feel like a complete mess. But that's not something that's as measurable as someone who's clearly overweight, let's say, and dealing with obesity and diabetes and things that can be measured scientifically to an exact degree. So just to tell you guys that when I was in isolation, I felt horrible. So I would really recommend to you guys just a few tips I've learned over the years. One thing I used to do also is stay home from school a lot for university because a lot of my courses were recorded. So I really suggest to you guys that if you have recorded courses, to go and attend the course. There's nothing wrong with attending it and then listening to it afterwards to get a clear grasp of the material, but if you're relying on just the recordings and isolating yourself, that's a very dangerous thing, because it has been proven that those people that isolate themselves the most, tear away from relationships of any kind, romantic, friendships, family, are going to ultimately be sicker than your normal person, and ultimately that will affect your health. It can lead to more degenerative diseases because you are just putting yourself into such a sad slump. And it's also been shown that depression is pretty highly linked with heart problems. And that could be causative effects, it could be correlational effects. Some of these things are hard to find a direct relationship between, but it's just something to keep in mind that if you're depressed, you're probably going to want to exercise less, take care of yourself less, all those kind of things. So you really have to give that push and fight a little bit harder against these things. Because the more that you push against them and the more you fight for them, the better you're going to ultimately be. So trust me guys, just any little step you can take, attending your classes more, making sure to have work in a more social environment, do make some plans with friends, family members, anyone that's in your life, Even if you're somebody that doesn't have many friendships or any at all, if you have a family member or anyone you can see and you can talk to, or even just making an appointment with a psychologist or a free counselor through school, that's something that will get you to interact with someone. And I would even argue just being in areas that are populated, even if you're not talking to someone, can help boost your morale. So sometimes I will go and I'll study at school or at a library, and that will let me be around people that are like-minded in the sense that they all need to study. They're all fighting the same battle in that way. So I'm putting myself in an environment where other people are supporting me without even realizing that they're helping me. That has been a very big thing for me too. If you're in a school and you can join sports or any extracurricular activities, give yourself a little push and do that. I used to be quite active in high school in the sense that I would be tutoring and I'd be helping people, active in terms of helping out at my school, trying to communicate with people and help them, because I feel like the more I help people, the better I feel. And that's why I like YouTube. It can also be a social thing in a sense, because I read all of your comments, guys. I respond to you guys. I really appreciate any feedback you have for me. So even think about making your own YouTube account, expressing yourself. Just doing this has fought my social anxiety so very much. It's given me so much more confidence in myself, just being able to put myself out there, admit that I have mental health issues, but I'm still working through it and becoming stronger. So I hope the video helps you guys, my precious gems, and I will be speaking to you all very soon. Feel free to comment down below if you have anything to add to this discussion. Bye for now, everyone.